You also mentioned the making it accessible, and I think that's something that really struck me is your commitment to making it accessible to all as many types of people as possible, which I think a lot
Mm,
of real life clubs could learn from you guys. I know you've got Max doing sign language,
Yeah,
yeah,
and you've got live audio descriptions as well
yeah,
during events.
yeah.
Can
mhm.
you talk a little bit about that? And I think that's really, really interesting and really necessary, and isn't maybe done or spoken about enough at all.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely done in venues, of course. Like that's kind of basically how Max initially got involved was they attended like the third or the fourth party
Mm,
maybe,
Mhm.
and they were spotlit as they were signing the lyrics to a song. I think maybe they realized that there were other people attending that could use it,
Yeah.
and we got in touch after that, being like, it would be really great if you could do this at every party and make it like an official part, and we can ensure that everyone you're visible for everyone who like requires those services. And they obviously have been doing it, and they do like conferences and other stuff, so it's part of their job. But I think, yeah, we really wanted to make it something that was integral and to try and prove a point. And through Max, we got closed captioning and audio description involved,
Mm.
which obviously is also what people do in venues as well. But yeah, it's not done a huge amount. I guess like having it online kind of it started the discussion about accessibility, because obviously the physical access requirements you obviously don't need because people are in their homes where they've got access to their computers already. So I think that was kind of how we got thinking a bit more about accessibility, which we kind of now realize we weren't like doing enough beforehand. Like
Mm.
we always tried to put on events in accessible venues, which is quite difficult in London some of the time. But there's like it opened our mind to like a whole other set of things that just were possible but weren't really going on as much as they should be, I suppose.
yeah, definitely. I think we always, when we were putting on parties before the pandemic as well, we always went into it like, how can we make this accessible as possible? Um, but I think, as Nick was saying, it took a pandemic to make everyone realize, oh, there's all these people that are getting in touch with us saying, like, I haven't been able to go to a queer night or a queer venue um, for years.
Mm.
And that isn't just focused around like physical access needs, like being a wheelchair user. It's also stuff like some people can't be, because they're neurodivergent, can't be in like a very loud and busy space. There's people that are survivors that don't feel comfortable being out in those spaces. There's a whole range of reasons why people don't feel, well, number one is they don't feel that that venue or that night will be as accessible for them.
Mm.
There's a whole other conversation around like whether people feel like they're comfortable in that space
Yeah.
and whether they
Yeah.
belong there.
Yeah.
So I think we've always tried to do that with our parties before, but now it's such an integral part of what we do. Um, I think another element as well is trying to keep the costs down, because there's so many people at the moment that like wouldn't be able to attend a night because of financial reasons. So even when we do in real life events now, we offer like free tickets for people that need them. We're trying to do them on a sliding scale as well, and just trying to keep it open to as many people. One other thing about doing it online is we've been able to have people from all over the world, which
Mm.
is
Yeah.
like, even
Yeah.
on Friday we had, I can't remember, the list of countries always makes me a bit emotional,
Yeah,
but
but
there's
it was
obviously,
like Russia, I think, where obviously,
Yeah.
being queer in some senses isn't like, that safe to do. So
of course, yeah.
yeah, I guess that's one thing that you would obviously just never even think of.
Mhm.
Countries where like queer spaces aren't legal and they can just jump on a Zoom and dance a night away.
Yeah. How
Um,
does that make you feel, like hearing
really,
from these people?
oh, it really good. And like, as I was saying at the beginning, we didn't go into it. I mean, our politics and our hearts are very much wrapped up in this. We do a lot of work around like queer people being in the asylum process and coming
Mm.
to this country for safety, and like these are all things that we're very aware of. But then we did this party not to touch upon any of these issues. But it's so glad that we've been able to like centralize accessibility, our politics, and how we want to change nightlife and society to be better. Like we've been able to like do it all in one, which wasn't the intention, but I'm very happy it's gone that
Me
way.
too.
Yeah.
I am very happy too. But I think that's like the power of I'd say electronic music and just queer culture as well, is that
Mm,
that ability, to it's powered by being political, and
Mm.
that sort of drives the whole thing, and that's kind of how you make change, through art.
Hmm.
I absolutely agree. And like, there's so many club nights, collectives, venues that I really care about and I think are doing amazing work.
Mm,
But I also do feel like a lot of the queer scene, especially in the lead up to the pandemic, has become like quite sanitized.
yeah.
And like, because of the way that capitalism goes, the more accepted our identities have been into society, the more that brands and the market realize that they can make money from us. And like, we're trying to come at it from a new angle where it's not just about making the cash, it's about the experience, it's about the like political potential of like having all those people in that room.
Yeah, all brought together because
Mm.
they love the same thing. And like on that as well, I guess going back to